Hey guys, what's up? It's FemGem here. Today I'm just gonna be bringing you my Gravekeeper deck post Dual Devastator. Cast Impact just came out, but I didn't really find any cards that I wanted to use within that in Gravekeepers. But I recently bought three boxes of Dual Devastator, and I've been able to work out the side deck and everything to my liking and whatnot. So I'm pretty happy how the deck's right now. Obviously, I keep on making changes to the deck because I really only run 3 decks, and this is definitely one of them that I like to adapt with. So anyway, let's get into the deck profile. First off, we're gonna run 3 Gravekeeper Spiritualists. Spiritualist is your basically one of your most important monsters in the sense that use him and one other monster while Necrovi's on the field to get your fusion monster. And that fusion monster protects itself from destruction, and it protects Necro Valley from destruction. So it can't be MST'd or Twin Twistered. Next up, we're gonna play 3 Comet. Comet is basically the reason you don't run Terraforming this deck. He is your searcher. You can discard him to search out Necro Valley. We're on 3 Gravekeeper Recruiter. Recruiter's really good, actually, because, he's a good set that he's already 2,000, so sometimes that could be hard to beat over. And once he's on the field and set to the graveyard, you get to search out a Gravekeeper monster. Usually, if you don't have Comet in the hand, usually search out Comet and able to get Necrolite from there. But even if you can also use him to get any Gravekeeper monster, depending on the situation. I only run 2 Headmen because I feel like 3 was a little bit clunky, and being the fact that you can basically search him out with a lot of cards, I don't like to see him too much in my hand. We only run 1 Gravekeeper's Heretic for the fact that we can search him out. And we run 1 Gravekeeper's Descendant. Descendant's actually really good, but I only run him at 1 because you can search him, obviously, off of multiple cards. His effect is when he's on the field, you can tribute another Gravekeeper monster and pop a card on the field. So, basically, this is the best case scenario. Let's say your opponents run heavy back row. You can obviously, if you have multiple monsters on the field, use his effect to pop cards and pop their back row. Next up, we're going to run 2 Gravekeeper Spy. The Spy's a little bit slow, but I like how he is. Having the, when Necrovi's on the field, he's up to 2,500. And getting the free special summon off of him, whether he's destroyed or not, just from the flip summon, it's actually pretty good. Alright, that's it for the monster lineup. It's a pretty small monster lineup. That's pretty much why we run a lot of searchers. But most importantly, we run 3 Necro Valley. Necro Valley is a pretty awesome card in today's meta for the fact that it basically shuts down graveyard plays. Any card that would be special summoned to the graveyard, any card that would be banished from the graveyard cannot be activated. So, you can't get Return of the Dragon Lord, you can't get Monster Reborn, you can't. Basically, if certain cards have effect that will be you can discard this card and then special summon from the graveyard, that's canceled automatically, so that's pretty cool. Next up, we run 3 Necro Valley Throne. This is another searcher card. Basically, his effect is that when he's played, you can search add 1 Gravekeeper's monster from your deck to your hand. Usually I use him if I don't have Comet in my field. I can search out Comet, then use Comet's effect to get an Necrolite. But also he has a second effect where it doesn't come up as often, but once you activate this, you can perform 2 normal summons this turn of Gravekeeper monsters. So that's pretty cool. Getting 2 normal summons that. Yeah, it's Gravekeepers only. I was gonna make sure. Next up, we're gonna run 3 Hidden Temple of the Necro Valley. This card is basically like the most annoying card to I see on the field for other people. I love it so much, and the reason I run 3 of it because I really want to see it in my opening hand. But basically, this will shut down pretty much anybody from special summoning. His rule is that you can't special summon anything but Gravekeeper monsters, and 9 times out of 10, you're not going to be playing a Gravekeeper's mirror match, so it is always good. The only deck thing that this thing struggles against is True Draco because they tribute summon all the time. But that's why we have the side deck that I'll show you later. Finally, fresh off the ban list, 3 Royal Tributes. I think my favorite combo is to get my fusion monster out with Spiritualist and one other monster, Necro Valley. Use the card that doesn't let people special summon, and then activate Royal Tribute just to get rid of their all the monsters in their hand. Pretty cool combo. This deck is very susceptible for hand traps, so we run 3 Called by the Graves. For draw power, we're going to run 2 Allure Darkness. I might bump that up to 3, but I'm working at 2, and I like how it is right now. More draw power, we're going to run 3 Pot of Dualities. I'm going in more budget option, but if you can afford it, I would definitely think about bumping these out for Pot of Extravagance. Now for trap lineup, we're going to run 1 Necro Valley Temple. Temple's pretty cool because it allows you to recycle your Necro Valley, and not only when you have a monster and Necro Valley on the field, your opponent's monsters lose 500 attack. So basically, it makes it harder to beat over your larger monsters like Spy and your other 2,000 monsters. So pretty cool. Next up, we're gonna run 1 Imperial Tomb of the Necro Valley. I only run 1 now because it's searchable, and I feel like it's kind of hard to use when I use the fusion monster, it will take some time for it to be active, so I don't feel like I like drawing this card. Next up, the trap, we run 3 Solemn Strikes. This is basically the new card I kind of felt like would be better to draw into my hand other than Imperial Tomb. Because I feel like Imperial Tomb is kind of restrictive in the sense that you have to control Necro Valley and a monster in order to activate it. So lastly, you run 1 Summon Limit. Obviously, if you have the control deck, Summon Limit's just really good. Next up, we're going to move on to the extra deck. We're going to run 3 Gravekeeper Supernaturalist. Sorry. Supernaturalist is basically your boss monster. Once he's on the field, usually when he's on the field, he'll be either 3,300 attack or 3,200 attack. So it's a pretty big, beefy attack. He has the effect where you can activate his effect, and during the end phase, you get to search out a Gravekeeper or a Necro Valley card. Whether that be Necro Valley or a monster. The one thing that really sucks that I thought was going to work, but it doesn't, you can't search out Royal Tribute, which would have been really nice, but I guess you take your wins as you can. We're going to run 1 Wee Witch Apprentice. I'm sorry, why did I say that? 1 Beat Cop. I'm getting ahead of myself. But 1 Beat Cop from the Underworld. I basically run this card because he will come up, or she, I don't even know, but he or she will come up eventually. Like, it only takes 2 monsters, so it's really easy to make. It's generic. So you have to play 1 Nightmare Phoenix for back row pops, 1 Underclock Taker just because the link arrows are pretty good, and then we're gonna run 2 Wee Witch Apprentices. Wee Witch Apprentice is pretty cool because you get to bump up the attack of all your dark monsters. So that's pretty good. And when Necro Valley's on the field, you really get to bump up their attack. And then we're gonna run 2 Evil Swarm Nightmare, 2 Evil Swarm Thanatos, and 2 Dark Rebellion XYZ Dragon. Now, if you see this lineup, all these cards can be used, but really, your main goal is to just get your boss monster out. So that's why it's not too bad running Pot of Extravagance in this deck, because you're not so heavily relying on the extra deck. Anyway, now moving on to the side deck. We run 3 Cosmic Cyclones. Cosmic Cyclones, I think really good, because, I've had it before where I mainly use it for the fact that I don't like Mystic Mine, and I need a way to out Mystic Mine. And Mystic Mine is a great way, considering that Twin Twister gets cancelled out by Field Barrier most of the time, but I'm pretty, because it vanishes, you're able to get it out of the way, so that's pretty cool. Next up, we run 1 Spear Mode. I was going to put it at 3, because technically what I'm doing here is I should be running 3 Nibiru, but I haven't got the Nibiru, so I just have the Spear Mode. But once you get a Nibiru, just switch it out for Nibiru. Personally, you can also put 3 Winged Dragon or Raw Spear Mode, because it's just personal preference. I think Nibiru is a little bit better than Spear Mode, but that's just me. We're going to run 3 Dino Wrestler Pinkertops, because Dino Wrestler Pinkertops is just generic, and he's actually really good for side decks. And for more control options, there can only be 3 of them. And last but not least, we got 3 Mind Controls. And that will be it for the deck. Thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already. And tell me what some options that you can think of that will that could improve my deck. And with that being said, I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.